Look, we are seeing democracy summer in effect, and Donald Trump is not handling it this well. A lot more data is coming our way that is more in line with what we expected to start happening, and Donald Trump is having a total meltdown. Also, the narratives being pushed by the media is something to point out as well. Take a look at the new CBS News poll, for example, that just came out this weekend. It says that voters under 30 are backing President Joe Biden at about the same rate as 2020. Remember all of these narratives they were pushing that young people are not voting for President Biden, and they were pushing those polls and saying, take a look at what these polls are showing. Well, now I think young people in the country are actually paying attention to this race and seeing the types of dangerous things that Donald Trump's saying and talking about, and how he's denying the existence of climate change, how he wants to be a dictator, how he's talking about, like just this weekend, starting a migrant fight league where he will have UFC fighters fight migrants, as he puts it. I'll show you the video of him saying that. But take a look here. Young people favor President Biden 61% to 38%. The 2020 exit polls had about a plus 24 for President Biden. So it's basically directly in line with that. But notice how CBS frames it here in their headline. It goes on to say, but it's their turnout and motivation that is going to be a challenge. Well, wasn't all the media using polling to basically say before that their polling was sacrosanct and it was showing what was actually going to happen the day of? Now that their polling is reflective of President Biden winning, they now say, oh, well, looks like President Biden may have a turnout problem. Based on what? Based on what data are you referring to? The trust me bro data? You see how they always shift the narrative, or even a good story for President Biden, they try to make it, tinged with some negativity to push this horse race. Also, we previously reported the 7-point swing to Biden from March to June in Fox News polling, an 11-point shift in independent voters from the last Fox poll, such that President Biden is now up 2 in that poll. And for the first time, the 538 polling has President Biden ahead as well. So what is Donald Trump doing? Well, Donald Trump is sending emails like this. This is a message from Donald Trump. I made this Trump gold USA flag for you. You want an American flag with the name Trump across it? You want me to disrespect the flag even more than I'm already doing? Take this Trump American flag. How much should I sell it for? $1,000. You want your Trump flag? Buy it for $1,000. I kid you not. Just take a look at it right there. How about this message that Trump is sending his supporters this weekend? Because it's all a grift. Where should I ship your gold MAGA hat to? Here's a special offer. A limited edition gold MAGA hat. It's gold. It's gold. What are you talking about? It's the color gold? How ridiculous can you get? Or this one over here. Ben. Would you like a poster? Ben. That's what it says. Ben. I'm sending this message from my iPhone. The boss himself wants you to get this. It's a never surrender poster. You can have Donald Trump's mugshot in your room. Like, could you ever imagine that the leader of the Republican Party would be sending emails to try to raise money saying that you can buy the mugshot of the convicted felon leading the Republican Party, and that our media by and large will normalize this behavior or just ignore that it's going on? Or how about this email from the leader of the modern day Republican Party? Alert from Trump. This is the email that you got sent this weekend if you were on Trump's listserv. Alert from Trump. Is my immunity imminent? And then it goes on to say, no more immunity equals no more America. Unless I'm given total presidential immunity from the Biden witch hunts, our country will be put in great and everlasting danger. If these radical left traitors get away with stripping my freedom, they'll turn their attention toward their ultimate target, Ben and the rest of the American people. That's what he is sending to his supporters in a presidential race. Is my immunity imminent? And that if he doesn't receive total immunity to order Navy SEAL Team 6 to kill, to murder his political opponents, then he says there will be no more America. That is his message to the American voters, or his message is this one right here, which is what he spoke about all weekend at his traveling fascist circus events that he calls rallies, where he says, because he doesn't talk about policy, but he goes, here's what I want to do. I'm going to set up a migrant fight league. A migrant fight league where I'm going to have the UFC fighters fight the migrants that we round up. And I want you to think about this before I press play. Other than in the MeidasTouch network, and I don't know, maybe a few other sources, do you even hear this being talked about? Could you imagine if President Obama ran on a platform of starting a fight league to have professional fighters attack migrants, or John McCain or John Kerry or George W. Bush, or could go on and on and on. President Biden? No, but the media is like, oh, that's just Trump being Trump. He's just trying to be funny. There's nothing funny about this. This is horrific stuff here. Just listen to him in his own words. Play this clip.
Tough. It is so tough. Dana White. Did anyone ever hear of Dana White? He's a legend, right? UFC, ultimate fighter, ultimate fighting. And he's a fantastic man. I said, Dana, I have an idea. Why don't you set up a migrant league of fighters and have your regular league of fighters? And then you have the champion of your league. These are the greatest fighters in the world. Fight the champion of the migrants. I think the migrant guy might win. That's how tough they are. He didn't like that idea too much, but actually, it's not the worst idea I've ever had.
By the way, here are my dogs for my wedding. There's Taquito on the left and Chiquito on the right. Why am I showing that to you? I needed like a cleanse after showing you that prior clip, so that's how I did it. Here's the ad. Here's the ad that is running, by the way, in all major swing states right now that the Biden-Harris campaign is putting out. And they're saying, look, Trump is a convicted felon. He's been found liable for sexual assault and committing financial fraud. Here's who he is. Here, let me show you the new ad they've got running.
In the courtroom, we see Donald Trump for who he is. He's been convicted of 34 felonies, found liable for sexual assault, and he committed financial fraud. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's been working, lowering healthcare costs and making big corporations pay their fair share. This election is between a convicted criminal who's only out for himself and a president who's fighting for your family.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Compare Donald Trump's messages to what President Biden's posting. He says, if Congress ever passes a ban on women's right to choose, I will veto it. President Biden writes, we're fighting for middle-class families. No billionaire should pay a lower federal tax rate than a teacher, nurse, or sanitation worker, or frankly, you or anybody. They should not be paying lower taxes than you. President Biden writes, Donald Trump's campaign is obsessed with the past, not the future. He's willing to sacrifice our democracy to put himself in power. Our campaign is different. It's about the American people and the future we're going to build together. Democracy and freedom are on the ballot this November. I would just say this. I'd make one correction to President Biden's post right there. I would say Donald Trump's campaign is obsessed with Donald Trump. That's what it's obsessed with. And you've got people like this who are now in the Republican Party. This guy, these guys, White Boy Summer, this guy in the muscle shirt, the Siggy Flicker, who post weird things like this. These white people who have Blacks for Trump shirts, people who buy fake gold Trump sneakers, people like her who wear shirts, I'm voting for the convicted felon. That's part of their campaign platform. I'm not making this up. Vote for the convicted felon. Or this one. This is real. This isn't like a fake meme I'm showing you, that the Trump supporters show up to his events wearing diapers. A lot of them do. And they say diapers over Dems, or real men wear diapers. And that's how they show a solidarity with Donald Trump via wearing of the diapers. Very, very, very strange behavior indeed. But look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to keep calling it out each and every day together. And we're not going to let up. And we're going to make sure this pro-democracy community expands. And it's going to be made up of liberals, progressives, independents, mainstream conservatives, real Republicans, not this MAGA. If you don't identify with political parties, if I didn't describe you in any of those things, but you're just like, hey, I want normalcy. I want compassion. I don't want migrant fight leagues with UFC. I don't want people talking about things like that. I want to restore our freedoms. I don't want to have all caps tweets and posts and deal with this idiot's drama all day. I care about my family. I want someone who could be a role model in the position of the presidency. And that's why we reject this MAGA movement. We reject it strongly. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million together. And thank you so much for watching. It's free to subscribe to our network, so just hit it. Thanks.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.